So that episode this was
52.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey. Welcome to the show. Our 52nd episode. Here it is, May 19th, 2022. I'd like to say hi to everybody and welcome to the show. We're about to get this started, and I would also like to send out our deepest condolences to the people in Buffalo and the families, the lost ones that lost their lives in Baltimore from the senseless shooting. I tell you, just when you think the world is trying to get better, you always get some senseless violence like this happening right in your neighborhood or right next door. I mean, it just hurts to see senseless violence like this, you know. But our prayers and our deepest condolences goes out to the families and friends of their loved ones there, you know.
Yes, totally. Yep.
Well said, Malcolm.
Yes.
Well said. Subscribe button, Terry.
XO Sports Talk would like to thank all our viewers for their support. We are currently streaming on all your favorite podcast platforms. If you're watching the show on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and click on the share button so your friends and family can watch the show as well. Feel free to join in on the live chat where you can post your comments, or you can call in at 475-221-5006 to join in on the conversation tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, T, about the subscribe button. And now back to T again.
Just when you thought you were done.
But before I go to T, I want to, which T is for Terry. How are you tonight, Terry?
I'm good. How are you? What's going on, Aaron?
I feel like an old man that needs Geritol. Malcolm, how are you tonight?
I'm feeling blessed, man. Blessed to be here. Thank God, you know, just to see everyone here. You know, our brother Emerson couldn't make it this week, but don't worry, we'll handle it all for him like we usually do. We're looking out for you, E.
Yeah.
Do your job.
And find some patience in life. Swag. Brian.
Yeah, we miss his swaggy, but I'm sure he's drinking turmeric somewhere. So
Yeah.
Swaggy E.
he's always telling everybody, drink turmeric. Yeah. All right, so that's up.
And they they look at him as big as he is and tall. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. What? Anything, yeah. Not a problem.
How's that turmeric working for you?
Oh, man. Terry, NHL and MLB update, please.
So, in the world of Major League Baseball, some not so good news for the Mets, as Matt Scherzer is out. Scherzer is out 6 to 8 weeks with an oblique strain. We'll see how that affects them, as right now they sit on top of the NL East at the Mets sit on top of the NL East at 26-14. The New York Yankees sitting pretty at number 1 in the MLB, according to ESPN's power ranking.
Mm-hmm.
And according to them, it's true.
Okay. Sorry. With
It didn't happen by accident.
with Emerson's Los Angeles Dodgers sitting at number 2, the hot Houston Astros at number 3, and the New York Mets, the amazing Mets, are currently at number 4, and the Milwaukee Brewers round out the top 5 teams in the power rankings this week. And then some feel-good news this week. XO Sports would like to say congratulations to best friends Matthew Liberatore and Nolan Gorman, who are best friends and grew up playing Little League together. And they both got called up today by the St. Louis Cardinals.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Yep.
Congratulations to them and
Congrats on
their
that.
their families.
Yep.
I'm
Congrats.
sure they're just as happy as they are. All right, so we go to that, as Emerson would say, that hot ice. Hot ice. We are in the second round of the NHL playoffs. And in the Eastern Conference, the Tampa Bay Lightning are up 1-0 against the Florida Panthers with their 4-1 win over the Panthers on Tuesday night. Game 2 of that series is actually underway. They dropped the puck on the ice at 7:30 tonight, so we'll see who wins that game. The Carolina Hurricanes are up 1-0 against the scrappy New York Rangers after beating the Rangers last night. Game 2 of that, they beat the Rangers last night 2-1, and game 2 of that series resumes tomorrow at 8. And then over in the Western Conference, the Colorado Avalanche are up 1-0 against the St. Louis Blues. They beat the Blues in game 1 Tuesday night 3-2. And game 2 of that series resumes tonight at 9:30. And then we have to round it out, we got the Calgary Flames. They're up 1-0 against the Edmonton Oilers in the Battle of Alberta, with action picking up tomorrow at 10:30.
Mm.
I like
Terry.
Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're kind of quiet when it comes to talking about your baseball team. So now you're on the spot. Who's your baseball team?
So I'll say I'm a default Yankee fan because my father is a Yankee fan, but I really only had a favorite baseball player, and that was Ken Griffey Jr. But I'm a Yankees fan, so as long as Pop's happy, I'm happy.
I'll tell on you.
Better be.
Yeah. Pops, you know what he said? Pops.
Yeah. I put food on the table and you're doing what? You're saying what?
Yeah, especially the Mariners, right?
My pops must have did something wrong because he a Met fan and I'm a Yankee fan.
Ooh, boy. Yeah. How'd that come about?
And I am not surprised with you, Malcolm.
There you go.
I'm a Mets fan. Well, Dad, that's good for you. I'm going with the Yankees. Talk to you later.
Care about no sorry Mets.
Yeah. My Chicago
Yankees.
White Sox, they coming around. They coming around.
Yeah.
I call them White Sox. I think they're about 500, so they coming around.
Well,
see.
Well, all I can say is don't take any sleeping pills, because if you'll never wake up if you're waiting for them. I think for me it was I had no choice. We grew up in the projects, and this is the days of the antenna, and the master antenna went to my mother and father's television. So they were able to get WOR-TV out of New Jersey.
Wow.
And they played the Mets. They showed the Met games. WPIX, Channel 11 out of New York, showed the Bronx.
New York Yankees.
With the dial, for you kids out there who thinks everything is with the remote, it was, you literally had to walk up to the television and turn the dial.
Sometimes you had to use pliers.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
And so WPIX, for me, it had Phil Rizzuto and Roy White doing the baseball games.
Scooter.
Frank White.
Thank you. And that's how I became a Yankee fan, yada, yada, yada. And I know a lot of people can say, Aaron, we can care less. But you said it, and please, Aaron, move on.
I couldn't stand them then, and I can't stand them now.
The evil empire.
It was always on TV. It was like,
it was our local. We had no choice.
I know.
Yeah.
It was our local.
That's why it was horrible.
Well, little brother, I'm glad you at least jumped on the right ship with the Steelers. One for two isn't bad.
There you go.
NBA playoffs. Wow. Dallas Mavericks defeated the Phoenix Suns 120-90 in Game 7. Malcolm literally called me at work and said, "Hey, bro, put me on first. I got a whole lot to say." He started going. I said, "Okay, Malcolm." I said, "Malcolm, I got to go. Supervisor's coming." "Okay, talk to you later." So, Malcolm, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm going to try to keep it somewhat brief. I'm not going to beat him up that bad. Oh, yes, I am. Let me say this. You were the number 1 seed, okay? Number 1 seed throughout the whole NBA, okay? Your chemistry was there. Your playoffs was there. Your coaching was there. Everything was there. You let the number, who cares, whatever, 4 seed or whatever they are, Dallas Mavericks come to your house in a Game 7. By the way, you led 3 games to 2. You had 2 chances to close that series out, all right? And not only that, when you got up 3 games to 2, you beat them by 30, okay? And then you lost Game 6. And Game 7, you didn't even show up. I mean, I'm not blaming Chris Paul because everybody's burning his jersey and talking to him about Chris Paul. I mean, he just has hard luck. I mean, the man just must got a black cat in his pocket or something. But the key is they did not execute. They did not show up in their own building. They didn't show up. I mean, to me, that was one of the most devastating losses I've seen a team take. And they're supposed to be the repeating, conference champions, and they didn't come close to it. They're not in the conference championship. They blew it. They let Luka take over, and Luka made them look silly. Hold on. He was dishing. He was swishing. Heck, he was doing whatever it took to get the game going. The thing about Phoenix, they didn't play any defense whatsoever. It's bad when Ntilikina's hitting 3-pointers on you, okay? Everybody on the team was scoring. I was like, dude, every time you score 2, they score 6. Every time you score 3, they score 9. You lost your final 7th game at home by 33 points. That's terrible. That's a shame. I'm telling you right now. I know they plan on coming back. CP plan on coming back. Good luck, man, because you go to the playoffs and do the same thing again. It looked like somebody's got your number now, because that was terrible. That was a terrible showing.
Okay, but Malcolm, Chris Paul, isn't it a lot to ask for an older player like him?
I agree. When your best player is 37 and you're 38 years old, you got a problem. I mean, don't get me wrong. Book is the man. Don't get me wrong. Book's the shooter. He got to step up. Your bench got to step up. Bridges got to step up. I mean, Alton got to step up. You got a big center. You got one of the best big men down low who has a great touch around the rim. And fundamentally, footwork is sound. They just played terrible. I mean, it was no excuse. They got blown out of their own building. Okay?
Yeah.
They were at home. They got blown out of their own building. Now, everybody says, oh, they need to change coach, this and that. It wasn't the coach's fault. Now, it might have been preparation problem because they got gang busted. My thing is, you should have won Game 6. You shouldn't have never let it get to Game 7 because you handled them in Game 5 by 30. You beat them by 30 in Game 5. There's no excuse. None.
Okay. Brian, I'm going to give you this question.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with you, Brian.
Okay.
Do you think if the coach lose like this next year, will he be fired?
Which coach are we talking about? Monty Williams?
Yes.
Well, it depends on how they lose, but I don't think he would be fired.
If they lose by 20 again next year, will they fire him?
I don't think they will fire him. Well, like I said, it all depends on the season, how they play, and how they get bounced out in the playoffs. But I think Monty is a good coach. I think Dallas exposed some of their roster weakness, that basically you have 2 guys on the floor who can only create their own shots, and everybody else can't really create their own shots. So your wings, your small forwards, Bridges, those guys can't create their own shots. So now you're telling You're telling your 37 or 38 will be 38 your point guard to set everybody up, score, and set them up to score. So I don't think he would get fired.
Mm. Terry, what did you think of the Dallas Mavericks Phoenix Sun game?
Well, like Brian said, they expose some of their Phoenix's weaknesses. Brian named two, but they also exposed another one, and that was defense, because they constantly, I mean, they were hunting, as they call it in the NBA, for Chris Paul on pick and roll situations. They took Luka and whoever Chris Paul was guarding and put him in pick and roll so Chris Paul can end up on Luka. Again, Chris Paul in his younger days, all defensive player, right? He's 37. Now, like Brian said, you expected him to run the team, score, plus the fact they were at times pressuring him full court. And now you got to defend Luka. That's just too much to ask for a 37-year-old. So, in my opinion, they kind of got out coached. I'm not sure what Monty Williams could have done to make adjustments. Again, what's their backup point guard? The young, I can't remember his name right now.
I can't think of his name, but he can't shoot.
Yeah, and you would expect him.
Which team?
Phoenix.
For Phoenix. I can't think of his name right now.
He's lefty. I can't think of his name. I can see his face.
Yeah, but I mean, just based off the season that they had this year and how they made it to the finals last year, you would expect someone to step up, and that's what I was worried about for the Suns. They just didn't have guys to step up when Chris Paul couldn't step up.
So let me ask you this question, T.
Mm-hmm.
Is it time to say with Chris Paul, you're good, but we need you to come off the bench, and they need to go and get a young point guard?
Well, where you get that from? They don't come off trees.
They got
I mean, the Knicks been looking for that.
And they got the they don't have a lottery pick. They got to luck on to that. I can't see that happening.
Now, here's one for you. I'm going to ask all you guys this question. Yay or nay? Would you trade Chris Paul for Kyrie Irving?
Who you asking?
I'm going to ask this question to you, Malcolm.
What
first.
team?
Swap Phoenix.
Heck no. First of all, he's not a good fit for Phoenix because he doesn't distribute the ball. It's me. Everything is him. Is me. No. Is he a better point guard than Chris Paul right now? Yes, he is. The key is talking about Cameron Payne.
Yep.
Backup point
Cameron
guard.
Payne. Yep.
Yeah. The key is his game is not conducive. He's a great finisher, great shooter. He's not a typical floor general. Don't get me wrong. He'll score 40 on you, and he'll take it to the rim. But his job to settle the team down and control the pace and control the team, no, he's not that player. And I'm going to tell you right now, Phoenix don't have enough to give up the trade for that Kyrie Irving anyway. I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going through that. I can't see them. Winning is what they're trying to do.
All right. Terry.
No, I would not make that trade just because Chris Paul's 37. I mean, Brooklyn, what are you looking for? You just hunting for one championship and that's it? Because that's pretty much all you would get. And that's if Chris Paul stays healthy. If I'm Phoenix, I don't make that trade either. I think you don't tell Chris Paul he has to come off the bench, but you got to start looking at reducing his minutes, and then you have to have a conversation with Cameron Payne saying, hey, we're going to need some big minutes out of you this year, and not only during the regular season, but once we get to the playoffs.
Okay.
But I don't want to take anything away from what Dallas did either. I mean, like I said last week, Luka was a wild card, and if he got hot, which he did, he got hot in game 6 or 7. And not only that, Spencer Dinwiddie got hot like a
Yes.
flaming bag of flaming hot Cheetos. And that was like the worst thing that could happen for them. But like I said, Luka, he can impact the game just off of his shooting, that step back three. And if he gets to the rim and he gets hot against any team, it's a problem. And that's what happened to Phoenix.
I just, Brian.
Yes. Well, no, I don't see that trade. That wouldn't make too much sense on the Brooklyn end because you'll be putting more stress on Durant because you'll be losing scoring, which you need to kind of take some of the load off of Durant. And also, you'll be bringing, what would you do with Ben Simmons? He's pretty much going to be your point forward. So you're taking the ball out of Chris Paul's hands right there. So that wouldn't make much sense from them. Phoenix, it would, but I don't see that happening anyway. But as Terry said, Phoenix, it was a bad rap. Luka got hot. And then the fact, like he said, Dinwiddie and Brunson, they look like all-stars out there. They put up 30 and 24. We'll expect that. And that for both of them. So, nah. So they just got to modify that roster a little bit, I think.
I would like to see Chris Paul go to New Jersey. Not New Jersey, Brooklyn Nets. I think that would be interesting.
If Ben Simmons was there, it wouldn't be bad.
Just send him with the Lakers. They got enough old players over there.
But guys,
it'd be a perfect fit.
So, real quick, Aaron, before you move on, I have a question for you guys, and I'll start it off with you, Aaron, and then but
okay,
real quick,
Terry, for $200, I win.
If the NBA gave out Coach of the Year after the finals, would you pick Jason Kidd over Monty Williams?
Would I pick Jason Kidd over Monty Williams?
Seeing
No.
the teams that Dallas beat to get to where they are, Phoenix had the best NBA record this year.
Because it goes by the season.
He said after, just in case.
After.
It changes.
I'm just saying
if you're talking
after the finals,
Come on,
after
you're on the
everything
clock.
is done,
No.
and you had to pick Coach of the Year.
no.
No?
No?
Okay.
You wouldn't do it.
I would
huh?
still stick with Monty.
Oh, okay.
How about you, Malcolm?
Monty did it all year. I mean, he's still a good coach. It's just a matter of, Jason Kidd got a hot player. Right now, Luka's just stepped up as one of the upper echelon tier players in the NBA.
And the other reason also, T, is this: Dallas had to go to Phoenix.
Yes.
Yeah.
So so Jason Kidd didn't have his team playing all season to have that game at Dallas. So, it's a marathon, but at the sprint, you're saying, "Oh yeah, give me the trophy." Not so fast. What was
How
your
about you,
work?
Brian?
T, run that question back.
Oh,
no problem.
All-stars over here.
So if the NBA gave out the Coach of the Year award after the finals, would you pick Jason Kidd over Monty Williams for Coach of the Year? Factor in all the teams that Dallas had to go through, and the fact that Phoenix Suns had the best record.
If they gave it to after.
Oh, for memory loss,
I
try.
think, yeah.
Turmerics.
I wouldn't. No, I still gave it to Monty. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And,
Yeah.
wow, that was a long ride in the park.
He's
Hey, don't count Spoelstra out of it. Spoelstra had a great year as a coach too.
No doubt. Definitely.
And thanks for going there, Malcolm.
Yeah.
But I'm going to
Segue?
hold off on that one. Nope. I was going to use that. Yeah, you know what, Malcolm? No, I'm
Shoot
not
it.
going to use that for the segue. I got to go to the Boston Celtics defeating the Milwaukee Bucks 109-81 in Game 7. Terry, what did you think?
I didn't see it coming. I I like Boston as a team. I like Tatum. I like Jaylen Brown. But I just didn't think they had the mental toughness to go down to Milwaukee in a game 6, to force a game 7 and beat them. And, I didn't think that they would beat them even in game 7 because Milwaukee, is a championship team. They've made deep runs in the playoffs past couple years. So I just felt like Boston wasn't mature. But Jason Tatum, in my opinion, he's made the biggest leap in terms of fulfilling a player fulfilling his potential during these playoff series. So kudos to them. I didn't see it coming, but I know Brian called it last week. He said they could do it, and they did.
Malcolm.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Boston. I mean, they did a great job. They did a great job in the series before that by locking up that kid Durant. By forcing them the shots he didn't want to take, and they played great defense. And the hats off goes off to them. Like you said, Tatum did his thing. I did not see it coming because they're defending champs, and of course, I at least thought they'd make it to the conference finals. I mean, another disappointing team, but they did lose a big player in Chris Middleton, because he's one of their good shooters and one of their great scorers and one of their leaders on the team. And it looked like they're going to play without him the whole playoff. So hats off to Tatum, Brown, and of course, Horford was the difference. Al Horford was the difference this year between last year for that team because they had nobody like him. So great job, Boston.
Yep.
Brian.
And as Malcolm said, the Bucks, they really miss Middleton a lot. You could see that they needed that floor space and they needed that for somebody else to be able to create their own shots once again. I like Drew Holiday, but I think him playing a lot of the point guard situation, it takes away from his game as well. It's because you asking him to play point guard, defense. So, and that's a hard thing to do. But Boston, got to give the team, got to give that coach credit. I didn't think they would. I thought it would be tough because of the length and size that Milwaukee had. But you had centers out there shooting threes, and so great coaching job by them and great win by them. So I have to give it to them. You just seeing the growth of that team. As Terry said as well, Tatum is becoming a superstar on both ends of the court. Something kids take notice. Scoring is one thing, but being able to do it on the defensive end as well is a big thing. Because you don't want to give up 30 and put up 30 and give up 30. That's negative nothing. You're not doing anything really to help the team.
Don't give up 29.
So
It sounds like you guys are talking about Carmelo Anthony, but
Leave him out of
Once
this,
again,
man.
Melo was never known for his defense.
come on, man. Some people have certain skill sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that movie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Special set of skills.
Yeah.
well, sound like Carmelo Anthony to me at the end, but
Yeah.
we will move forward.
By the way, Giannis played his butt off in that series. I mean, you can't play no better than what Giannis did. He gave 110%, and he tried to carry that team on his back. He needed the help. Like I said, Middleton wasn't there. He didn't have that bench help or that second tier score like he usually gets. So that really hurt him. But he did his thing. You can't play no better than what he played.
Yeah. And that's why I think they need a point guard so they can move Holiday to the 2. And
Which
then
would be great.
Yeah.
Hey, here we go. How about Chris Paul?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
well, what you giving up for him? You're
What I would give up, I would tell them, look, I'll take. I would tell Boston, give me a second round pick, and I'll eat up $20 million of the contract.
Oh, you mean Boston? Or you mean Milwaukee?
Milwaukee.
No, not Milwaukee.
Phoenix?
Who are you talking about taking?
I'm talking
Chris
about
Paul.
I'm talking about Chris Paul to Boston.
Oh, well.
Oh, to Boston. Okay.
Nah, that ain't going to
Why?
happen. Yeah. Wait, what are you going to do that? Who are you
Right.
giving up?
Okay, it was just a thought. My goodness.
And then you talking about the guy make the money match. So you got to give up a.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'cause
He
make-
making $40 million.
Yeah.
But all jokes aside, this is the first year without Danny Ainge being the general manager.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And the former head coach becoming the general manager.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, Brad Stevens.
yeah, good job by the organization by saying, okay, Danny Ainge, thank you for bringing an NBA championship, but your services are no longer needed. And to still look at the head coach and say, you know what, this kid, hold on, we're not just going to let you walk out the door. How'd you like to have the job as general manager?
Mm.
And bring it in first time coach, and
First
he's got
time.
them.
What is he? What is he? Head of basketball operations? Yeah.
Who's that?
for
Brad Stevens?
Brad Stevens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's got any other responsibilities after that.
And this coach here, he's got them one series away from going to the NBA championship.
Yeah.
Did he come out of the Pop system? Greg Popovich?
I know. I think he, at one point, he might have played for him.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he. Yeah, like Thierry said, he either played for him or he came from that tree. Opposite
But
of Steve Nash.
I mean, kudos to him. He's got them playing, but now they're facing the Miami Heat. Guys, who will win this series? Malcolm in the middle.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Jay Butler because that kid is playing strong and he's on a mission. Because when he lost to that Sixer team, he says, "You're gonna pick what's your name over me." What was my man name? Not Dinwiddie.
Tobias Harris.
You're gonna pay Tobias Harris over me? Oh, he took it personal. I love it, and he's got a chip on his shoulder. So go get that money. Go get your championship, bro. Go get your championship.
Terry.
Oh man, it's hard to say because game ones, that's like always like a feeling out process for teams. Plus the Celtics didn't have Horford or Marcus Smart, but I have to go with the Heat because I feel they have the best defensive team out of all the teams left in the playoffs. So I think it's gonna go 7, but they'll win it at home.
Brian.
And I'm gonna edge it out. I'm gonna give it to Boston. I think Boston have the players. Not that Miami don't, because they are a well-coached team and they do have some great players. And give them kudos for Pat Riley for he even got unsigned, undrafted players on their starting. So I gotta give kudos to him for that. But I just think Boston has the tools. That game one, as Terry said, that's a feel-out game. They didn't have Smart. They didn't have Horford. I think having 2 superstars, Jaylen Brown, he's already a star. Well, he turned into a superstar. I think he's on track. But I just think they got the tools to win. But definitely it's going to be a well-grit, hard series. Pat Riley's team, known for a defense, or I should say Spoelstra. And then you got Oduko's team. So Boston's going to play good D. So I'm going to give the edge to Boston, though.
Now,
I know you heard that somewhere.
No. For me, if Miami wins the first 2 games, whether it's game 6, that's as far as I see it going. Boston cannot afford to go 2-0.
No.
They have to split. If Boston doesn't split, Boston is not winning this series. They cannot afford to go 2-0. It's just not going to happen. Do you agree with that, Terry?
I mean, I'm gonna say no because they turned around and they won the Milwaukee series, right? They had to go into Milwaukee and beat Milwaukee in a which was a closeout game for Milwaukee. They won that game, and then they were at home, but
Okay.
nobody expected that.
Now, Terry, when you take a look at Milwaukee and when you take a look at Miami,
Mm-hmm.
who would you say is a more dominant defensive team?
I would say I'm gonna give it to Milwaukee. Just because what Brian said is the Celtics have two superstars. And I don't feel like I could be wrong. You have Jimmy Butler on the defensive end that's gonna play tough defense. I don't know if PJ Tucker can shut down a Jaylen Brown or a Tatum. I mean, one of them are going to have to play Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Now, I know whoever Butler's on, he'll do a good job, but I don't know. And it's about consistency. I don't know if PJ Tucker can consistently shut down Tatum or Jaylen Brown.
Malcolm.
Ooh, what was the question again?
Not going.
You already asked me this question.
Terry, give him the question.
So, man. So he asked me who.
And you just talked. You just answered it.
Who had the better defense, Milwaukee or Miami?
Actually, I was looking up stats on my phone. Milwaukee or
Miami.
Ooh, I'm gonna say Miami did. Miami played D. They came to play D. Adebayo, he's a game changer. I mean, Bam, he will knock the shots down, and he plays great defense. So I'm gonna say definitely Miami.
Okay, Brian.
I'm gonna say Milwaukee. Once again, I'm gonna go back to their length. You're talking about you had almost like 3 7-footers out there. You had Lopez, you got Giannis, then you got was it Bobby Portis?
Yep.
So that right there is the length that I'm talking about inside. And the way I look at it is, look at the road that Boston had to go through. You went through the Nets, who everybody thought would be somewhere in the mix right now. Then you had to beat the champions, Milwaukee. Now you're going up against Miami, which, as I said, they play good defense, but they don't have the size. And let's not forget, in game 1, Boston was up by almost 20 points. So they can score. To me, what Boston problem is when they get a lead, is they tend to take bad shots and start jacking up threes and let people back into the game. So I think we'll see what they do today. I just think they need to be a little bit more better. And I think they was a little bit of gassed out too in that first game. You just came off of game 7. Now you had to come up against Miami.
Yeah.
I think Miami is a better defensive team. And the reason why is I think Miami's defense, the coach is a better coach. And their philosophy on defense there is to play defense and to execute defense. So like Brian just said about at times when the Boston Celtics take those bad shots, Whatchamacallit is going to grab the rebound and they're going to turn it into points. And that's where I think the reason why I don't believe the Celtics will come back to win this series if they go down 2-0 in the beginning.
So let me ask everybody a quick question now. Who's the better offensive team now? Boston or Miami?
I'm gonna say Miami.
I'd go with Miami.
Terry?
Hero coming off the bench. They don't have a match. They don't have a match for Hero.
Boston.
I'd say Boston. You don't think they got a matchup for Hero?
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, Butler and Tatum can neutralize each other out. Jalen as a starter, he's the better match for Miami, but coming off the bench, there's nobody that can stop Hero. I mean, nobody that could outshoot Hero.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yep.
Dallas Mavericks with Mark Cuban on the sideline counting his money versus the Golden State Warriors. Guys, who will win this series and why? Malcolm in the middle.
I'm gonna ride Luka. I mean, I know Golden State got their shooters. I'm gonna ride Luka and Brunson. I mean, they're hungry and they need some new blood in that championship. I've been wrong before, but I'm going with Dallas.
Terry.
I'm going Golden State just because they have too many weapons. In order for Dallas to win the series, they have to hit all their open shots because if they miss, Golden State's going to come back and hit a three. Steph will hit a three. He'll hit, he'll make all his open shots. Plus, he'll make the shots when he's contested. And then, if Klay Thompson gets going, and like last night they had Wiggins going, it's over. I do feel like Jason Kidd will make some adjustments to get at least 2 games in this series, but I got Golden State winning in 6. I mean, once Steph Curry starts doing the shimmy, man, it's over. It's over. You know it.
Brian.
As great as Luka is, I'm going to take the Warriors. I just think they're a trifecta of players. You talking about Steph, Klay, and Poole versus Luka, Brunson, and Dinwiddie. You got, to me, I got to take the Warriors 3 out of that, and I am not even going to go into a little further. But to me, there's a couple of things. I'm going to give Steve Kerr credit for his coaching. I thought they would try to do Luka as they did Chris Paul and put him in the box and post him up and get him on the switch. But they went to like a box 4 and 1 to kind of protect him so he couldn't just do the post up on him and get the switch. So that was one thing I did see with Steve Kerr. And I think Dallas, this is going to be a different series than it was with Phoenix. You don't have, you're not going to be playing Jay Crowder and Jeff Bridges. You talking about pretty much everybody on Golden State, small forwards and point guards and shooting guards, can put it on the floor and create their own shots. So
Jordan Poole.
There's no way to hide Luka defensively either because they do so much moving around and motions. So he has to play on both ends. He ain't going to be able to cheat and play Crowder and just stay in the corner and not do anything. So keep your eye on that. See how his legs are on his jump shot because he's going to be playing. He got to play defense all the time.
Well, here's my question to you guys. Do you think Steph Curry will show up? Terry?
Yeah. I think he will show up, but I don't think that him showing up is why the Warriors are going to win this series. Everyone's going to show up, in my opinion, in this series because, like Brian said, there's constant movement in this offense. And they still, right? So they have Kuminga on the bench, which I think at some point he's going to have, I think he'll come in and play a big role in this series at some point, whether they put him on Luka, or offensively he explodes for some points. But I think Steph is comfortable in this series right here. I don't think that the Mavericks put fear in them. I know the Warriors respect them, but Steph is going to show up. If he doesn't, Clay's going to show up. And let's not forget, they got the next Stephen Curry Jr. and Jordan Poole. So,
Yeah, right.
Malcolm.
Uh,
oh man, look what you started, Brian.
Malcolm, do you think
I don't have no
do
Malcolm
you
in the
think
middle.
Steph
either.
Curry will show up in this series?
of course he will. Of course. Yeah, listen. When you
After
come
getting
to the me with the
After
question, I didn't
getting
hear
a
the
B
question.
plus shot,
I didn't hear the question. Yeah, I need a B plus shot. Of course, Steph Curry will show up. Man, he's a GOAT, man. He's one of the best shooters of all time. And Curry will definitely show. The key is, will his running mate show up? Like you said, Jordan Poole. And of course, we know Clay's going to show up every now and then. But if Jordan Poole, he's the X factor, period. If he's on fire, it's over. Just like if Jalen Brunson's on fire and what's his name? Finney, whatever his name is, from Dallas. If he's on fire, it's over for Golden State. That's an X factor.
Yeah.
But the key is they're doing. Of course, Steph Curry will step up. I'm not worried about Steph.
Brian.
And Steph Curry shows up as soon as he walks into the arena. Because just him running around makes your defense shifts and move and players running after him. It does that, just that alone, without him even shooting the ball yet. To me, the X factor is if Wiggins got it going, then it's over. Then it's pretty much
You
over.
got a good point.
Because
Wiggins.
Poole can get his shot. We know that. Clay, he's coming back. You can see he's still trying to get his rhythm in his legs, but he still can get it, and he's a threat. So Steph running around. So to me, that's the X factor right there. And to me, I think he's in the perfect situation. He just needs to defend and score as needed, and he can take Luka. If Luka's D'ing him, I think he can take him off the dribble anytime he wants.
Well, for me, I think if Steph is hot, everybody else is on fire because he will set the tone to make everybody relax and say, hey, this is easy for me. Steph is hot. No pressure on me. I can have a good time shooting.
Yeah.
It's not about, oh man, Steph's not hot now. I got to make sure that I step my game up. If Steph comes out shooting the ball, there's no sweat on anybody's back on that Golden State team because they can just relax and then have fun because he's going to put on a show if he's hot. Yeah. But if he's throwing bricks, now guys are going to be, okay, I got to step my game up. So in the regular season, you can get away with it. You lose or win, you move on. Now, everything is magnitude 100 times over. What? So you got to win or go home. So they say. So
give that organization credit, man.
They built something special.
Yeah,
I'm not giving that organization no credit. That organization had a lottery pick. So,
you had that. You had Clay. They got Poole.
Draymond
Green. And let's not forget their other first round pick ain't even playing. The center.
Caligma? Caligma?
No, the center that they drafted.
Wiseman.
Yeah. So we don't even know what their full potential is.
Where I would give Golden State a lot of credit, they didn't pressure. They didn't panic. They said, okay, we lost Kevin Durant. Yeah. They went down in the tube, down in the gutter. They didn't go out and try to sign a whole bunch of free agents.
Yeah.
They just said, we'll just go by the system. They did a good job in drafting.
Yeah.
But they still have a key piece in having Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And that's the maestro out of the whole band for, in my eyes, to Golden State.
Well, there's a lot of people who could have had him.
Yeah.
My Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks. Go New York, go
No,
New York.
we
Knicks
missed
didn't
them.
have
They
him.
took him
They
right
got
before.
Oh,
picked
yeah,
before the
that's
Knicks.
right.
Yeah, they
You
took
got
him
picked
before.
before the Knicks.
That's right. That's right.
And
Yeah.
the Knicks still would have screwed it up. Yada,
Yeah,
yada,
you're
yada.
right.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
probably would have.
Sounds
Hey,
about right.
guys,
Yep.
Orlando Magic have the first pick in the NBA draft. Oklahoma City Thunder. Houston Rockets, number 3. Sacramento Kings, number 4. Detroit Pistons, number 5. Indiana Pacers, number 6. Portland Trailblazers, number 7. I love this one. Number 8, New Orleans Pelicans. The Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, the Los Angeles Lakers don't have a pick?
Nope.
Yeah.
Ain't that a shame? San Antonio, number 9. The Washington Wizards, number 10. New York Knicks, number 11.
Where they're supposed to be, because that's where they were print. That's what their record shows.
And
Yeah.
Oklahoma City. They're picking number 2 and number 12 in the NBA draft.
Do anybody know if that Lakers pick is for Anthony Davis?
That was the Anthony Davis pick.
Yeah.
Boy. They
Yep.
had that one. Oh, they got a championship, so.
They got a championship, and now they got an old team.
Yeah.
And even if you do get rid of LeBron, whatchamacallit is going to look he's going to look really nice dressed up on the bench. Davis. And he's
Street clothes.
very fashionable young man in street clothes.
Street clothes, Davis.
And Westbrook, well, he'll just be throwing up bricks.
Let me say this. I'm sorry to interrupt you, my brother. I was reading that the Lakers are interviewing coaches, not for their qualifications or whether they're a good coach or not. They're asking them the biggest question of all. How would you use Russell Westbrook? Because we stuck with him and we can't get rid of him. Tell me, please tell me you got
Okay.
the magic potion.
Here's something for you, Malcolm. What you just said. How would you deal with Westbrook?
No, not deal. How would you use them?
Use them.
Not deal.
No, that's just it. That's saying to me, you want to get rid of LeBron.
They're just well, you don't have to do it. LeBron knows how to play basketball.
To me, I think
LeBron,
him and LeBron need to not play together. He needs to come off the bench and just go rampant when the opportunity allows him to.
Good luck with
Brian,
that.
I totally agree with you. I told that to Emerson
Good
from
luck with that.
day one. When Westbrook came to the team, before he even came to the team, they should have said, can you come off the bench? If you cannot come off the bench, stay where you're at. Because it was never going to work. LeBron holds the basketball too long. And Westbrook he's hot and cold. He takes too many shots for me. Harry.
What are you asking me? What I think about draft or Russell Westbrook?
You can tell me about the draft, Terry. You can tell me about Westbrook.
We on the roll today.
I mean,
What you saying? You a teacher?
the draft. I mean, yeah, the Magic got the first pick. they have some good young players over there. They had 2 lottery picks last year, Jalen Suggs and Franz Wagner or Wagner.
Franz.
Franz. They have some potential of being possibly some good solid players in the league. And then they have Markelle Fultz and Greg Anthony's son, Cole Anthony, over there. So, I mean, they got some talent. There's no guarantee that they can turn that talent into a great team, but it could turn out in a year, or let's say 3 years from now, they could be a team like the Grizzlies, a fun team that can make some noise in the Eastern Conference. I'm real interested in seeing what the Kings do with their pick at number 4, because they made some trades last year that to me didn't make sense. They got rid of Buddy Hield. They got rid of Tyrese Halliburton to try and make a push for the playoffs, and they didn't even come close. So we'll see. I feel really bad for Dame Lillard because Portland got the 7th pick. I don't see any reason for him to stay in Portland. I don't see any reason why he won't ask for a trade at some point. And then, my Knicks, I was disappointed. I thought we might have a Patrick Ewing ping pong ball in there. Maybe we get the first pick, but we're at 11.
9%.
Yeah, I don't even know where they go with this pick, but it won't be a pick that's going to make it a big impact or immediate impact on the team anyway. So, but with the whole situation with Russ and the Lakers, I think they need a coach that's going to hold him accountable. And by that, I mean not just with his jump shot or shooting bricks, but the turnovers. I mean, the money he's making, and let's not forget, man, he's a former All-Star.
MVP.
Yeah. Some of his turnovers, if you watch the games, it's comical. And
yes,
they need to bring in a coach, and I'm not sure who that is. Is it Mark Jackson? That's going to hold him accountable. Especially, and I don't know if you could bring him off the bench with the money that he makes. That's not a bench player money,
No.
So they're gonna have to get a coach, and I think part of the, like Malcolm said, part of them asking that question is, I think they're trying to find a coach that will have the moxie to stand up to Russ, because Russ, we seen it with Frank Vogel last year, got attitudes. So they're going to need to bring in a strong personality at coach there. I'm not sure who it is, but whoever it is, going to have to hold. I don't see that. I don't see that.
Oh man, don't put Doc in that situation.
To go to the NFL.
Oh, I don't get the question. All right. That's all right. That's all right. I forgot it anyway. Don't worry about it. I'm good.
I forgot it anyway, right?
I forgot it. I was going to make him repeat the question, but that's all right. I'm good.
There was something I want to bring up real quick was Drew Brees and NBC came to a mutual agreement to part ways. Drew Brees noticed that there's only Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth in the booth, and that's it. And he's looking over to the left that Troy Aikman's getting $20 million. Whatchamacallit's got what's his name? Romo's got about
Romo's getting $17 million.
And now he's seeing that Tom Brady got a $375 million contract, and he's realizing, whoa, the money's not in the studio, the money's in broadcasting. So now he's trying to get a job somewhere else. So good luck to Drew Brees. I think he's I a day late and a dollar short.
Yeah, he got to
But-
put some time in. Put some time in.
You gotta put some time in for
Yeah.
us. Yeah, I agree.
Time, man.
Yeah,
You know,
know
Brady is an exception because he's a GOAT.
he's gonna bring in viewers.
Yeah.
Just
They
'cause of the
beg,
name.
they beg Brady
Well-
to come because exactly they want the ratings and they want him to be with them. You know,
Yeah.
that's all to it.
They're saying don't be surprised if you see him in Carolina.
Oh, Breeze?
Breeze.
Doing what? Coaching?
No, they're talking about making a comeback, but
They could-
I
Working
don't
at the
see that
news?
happening. I don't
Working
see
for the
that.
TV news sportscast or something?
I'll put it to you like this: Carolina would pay him $20 million.
That's a bargain right now for a quarterback.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Well, you're
That's
talking
a-
about
that's a low ball cut.
You're talking about a 37-year-old quarterback.
Well, you're only gonna give him one year.
You know, I
Maybe.
think they would give him 2.
You probably wouldn't
You give
guarantee
him
that
40
second one.
Yeah,
No, you can't. Can't.
He ain't gonna, bro. You fantasizing? He ain't
Yeah.
going to win it, Carolina. His bones are fractured. Matter of
Well-
fact, he can't even move around no more.
To be continued, guys.
Yeah.
Episode 52 is a wrap. Malcolm.
What was the question again?
Oh,
Yeah,
everybody's
still
a
asking
comedian.
tomorrow. What was the question?
Yeah.
What was the question again? We're
Don't
leaving.
drink the
Oh
milk.
yeah.
It's
Goodbye,
sour.
everybody. Good night.
Malcolm, Terry, please tell us about that subscribe button again.
Yeah, see, Emerson, what happens when you're not around, man? We're like Voltron, man. We can't all connect. We're forgetting stuff. So we're gonna put this
We're
one.
missing
on
the
you,
foot.
man.
Yeah,
This,
no
this
doubt.
L is on you, Emerson. But thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. Again, we appreciate all the support. Please leave comments in the comment section. You know, let us know how we're doing and what we can improve. And we'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll have the Jackson 5 back together again.
Yeah, and a lot more B+ shots going around for freaking memory loss around here. Good night, everybody.
Good
God
night,
Good
bless.
night,
everybody.
everybody.